On Saturday, Donald Trump held a Save America rally at Florence Regional Airport in South Carolina. Here to talk about Ukraine, Russia, and of course the midterms is our 45th president.
And 46th, I was reelected, David. The American people love me. The election was completely stolen from me. So that makes me the 45th and the 46th president, David. Biden is 46A. 46A. You know what the A stands for, David?
No, I do not.
Ask me what the A stands for. Ask me.
Okay. What does the A stand for, Mr. President?
The A stands for a stolen election, David.
Please welcome.
A stolen election.
That's what 46A stands for, a stolen election. Please welcome former president
and current president, except for Ukraine, that's not me. Afghanistan, that's not me. Inflation, that's not me. That's 46A.
46A.
He did all that. That's otherwise me.
Okay, please welcome Donald Trump. Wow.
All right. Hi, Maria. Hi, Maria. Great to be here, Maria. Hi, Maria.
It's David. It's David.
I know, David. I'm watching Maria Bartiromo while I'm talking to you. It's called multitasking, David. Have you heard of that? It means you can perform multiple tasks all at the same time, David. Like right now, I'm talking to you, but I'm also watching the brilliant Maria Bartiromo, David. So much smarter than you, which is why I have this third-rate Trump impersonator phoning into your show. That's right. Donald J. Trump has much better things to do than appear on a drug and Harvey-infested show hosted by a total disaster like yourself.
Oh, that's not.
And that's why nobody listens, David. Nobody listens. This show is a complete and utter failure. You're like the Hydrox cookies of podcasts, David. You know Hydrox?
Yes.
Nobody does. Nobody does because they're sad. They're sad, not sexy. Everyone knows Oreo. Great cookie, great racial slur, Oreo.
Oreo is a great racial
slur. David, no one ever called Brian Gumble a Hydrox. David, do you honestly think I would take a break from being with my beautiful wife, Manya, to come on your show? She makes such a great 10th lady, David, doesn't she?
You say 10th lady? You mean first lady?
No, she's a 10, a complete and perfect 10. So she's the 10th lady. Jill Biden. Dr. Jill Biden is a first lady because she's a 1. Melania is a 10. David, an ass like that doesn't quit, unlike Dr. Jill Biden. Even Dr. Pimple Popper wouldn't squeeze Jill Biden's ass. You know what I call Jill Biden? I call her Jilly.
What do you call her?
Jilly. I call her Jilly.
Ah.
You know why? She's
Why?
a dead ringer for Jilly Rizzo, Sinatra's pal. So I call her Dr. Jilly. Dr. Jilly Rizzo. She looks a lot like a fat, bald, 75-year-old mobbed up saloon keeper. She does, David. It's a fact. Everyone knows about it. Everybody says it. Everybody talks about it, David. She looks like Dr. Jilly Rizzo, Jilly Rizzo Biden, and her husband, Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Weepy Joe.
Okay, you're
he's sleepy
picking...
and he's weepy. Have you noticed he's been weepy lately?
Yeah. So let's talk about Vladimir Putin.
Why would I do your show? Why would I do your show, David? You should resign. This is embarrassing, David. This is the amateur hour. If the real Donald Trump knew I was doing this show, you know what he would say to me? You know what he would say?
What?
He'd say, "You failed. You failed." Because your listeners, they hate this country. They're all Trojan. They're all Trojan horses for the radical agenda, David. Every one of them. Saul Youssef is Ann Lee.
Nope.
Andy Brown, absolutely a Trojan horse, David. Sarah Bush, Saul Youssef, and of course, Professor Larry Harvey, Dave Mammal. They're all Andy Brown, every one of them, Trojan horses for the radical agenda. And you know what? They're all made in China. All your listeners come from China. You're a loser, David. That's why I hired one of my third-rate Trump impersonators to do this and not me.
Wait. So you're saying this isn't the real Donald Trump?
That's right. Why would I come on your show, David? I have much better things to do. Ask me.
Ask you what?
Ask me what better things I have to do than come on your show.
Okay, what better
Go
things
ahead,
do you...
Swamp Man. That means you're from the swamp. Go ahead and ask.
Mr. Trump, what better things? Okay,
Go
what
ahead,
better
Feldman. That means you're a Jew. Ask me what better things I have to do.
Mr. President, what better things
do you have?
Go
ahead and ask, David.
What better things
Go right
do you
ahead. Ask me, Mr. World's greatest president, what better things do you have to do than appear on my sad entertainment sinkhole? Go ahead and ask.
Okay.
Ask me.
I'm trying to ask.
Go ahead, David. You know, David, I'm actually watching your show right now. You and your listeners are such low IQ individuals. You're all arsonists, flag burners who were made in China.
Please don't.
Your subscribers are such mental deficients, their lips move when they listen. That's how stupid you and your subscribers are. It's actually sad. It's very sad. And that's why the real Donald J. Trump would never come on this show. I'm not even a third-rate Donald Trump impersonator, David. You don't deserve that. You don't even deserve a third-rate impersonator. Ask me, David. Ask me, what kind of Donald Trump impersonator do you deserve?
Okay, what kind of Donald Trump impersonator do I deserve?
An infinity-rate Donald Trump impersonator. That's how low you are on the list, David. You don't even deserve a third-rate Donald Trump impersonator. You deserve an infinity-rate. Infinity. That means forever, David, like how long it's going to take for this show to catch on, David. Forever. Not going to happen, David. Nobody likes you. You should resign. It's so sad.
So
sad, David. So very sad.
This is a Donald Trump impersonator.
David, yes, and not even one of the good ones. This guy you're talking to right now, he's not even Alec Baldwin level.
You're saying Alec Baldwin was bad?
Don't make Alec Baldwin jokes, David. Not nice. Not nice. Not nice, David. Not the time. Not nice. Don't do it, David. Don't do it, David.
You're the one.
I'm telling you, David, don't talk about Alec Baldwin's bad impression. This is not the time, David.
Sir, you brought up Alec Baldwin. I didn't bring up.
Very sad, David. Very sad. You're sad. He's sad. Everybody's sad. All thanks to Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe. You can thank Sleepy Joe for Alec Baldwin, inflation, and this Ukraine thing. Terrible, David. Sleepy Joe doesn't know how to handle Putin. Putin would never do this with me. You know why, David?
Why? Why, sir?
love, love. We love each other, David. I love the dictators, and the dictators love me.
Yeah,
They
but
do.
is that something to be proud
You
of?
know, David, dictators is a combination of two terrific words. Dick, which is a word to call terrible, terrible people like Sleepy Joe, and taters, which is a food you eat 3 times a day. It's a delicious food. Dictators makes you angry and hungry. It's all at once. My favorite two emotions in the world, David. Anger, hunger. Because
Okay.
they're the only two emotions I've got. Sums it up all there, David.
Oh,
Dictators.
such introspection.
I love them.
Such
I love them. Dictators. You can't love just one.
So
They say about dictators.
So it's pronounced dictators.
Dictators, and you can't love just one.
Okay, let's talk about dictators. Let's talk about Putin.
I may have to run again, David. I may have to run again. I really may have to run again. Too many people want me to, David. I don't want to, David. I don't want the attention. I'm very happy. More time with beautiful Melania. More time with my family. More time with Melania. More time with my family, Ivanka, Eric, Donald Jr., gathering together every night by the fire, coming up with racial slurs for Letitia James. It's a little family tradition that we had gotten away from, and now we're back, and I feel like a whole person again.
All right, please, can we just talk about the situation?
So, David, we gather by the fire, and we've got slurs, David. We've got slurs like you wouldn't believe.
I don't want to hear that,
but
sir.
You're not going to hear it, David, because we keep them in the family. We do.
Good.
But I may have to run, David. I really may. Blacks love me, and the Latins love me. The Latins, the good Latins. Mariano Rivera, the Yankee pitcher, loves Trump. Antonio Sabato Jr., he voted for me. Some say Antonio Sabato Jr. is Italian and not a Latin, but how could he not be a Latin, David? The Pope lives in Italy and he speaks Latin. So that makes Antonio a Latino. And of course, Diamond and Silk, they voted for me, and everyone knows Silk is a Latino, which proves the Latins love me.
I'm pretty certain Silk is not a Latino.
Silk is a Latin.
Silk is not a Latin.
David, I know for a fact Silk is a Latin. Silk comes from worms, and everyone knows the only place you can get worms is from Mexico. That's why you can't drink the water, David. You can't drink the water because you'll get worms. And Silk comes from worms. She's part worm, so she's a Latin.
Oh, well, okay. Vladimir Putin said this week.
Checkmate, David, checkmate.
Okay, this week, Vladimir Putin said that
the
NATO.
Latins love Trump. The Latins love Trump, and Trump loves the Latins. I love all the Latins. I love the criminals, the drug dealers, the rapists, love them all. The Latins. And they love Trump. Lot of love. You know, they say the Latin is a romance language, and I understand why. So much romance between the Latins and Trump. So much romance.
I'm going to beg to differ, Mr. Trump. Actually, you were building a wall between America and Mexico to keep the Latins out.
No, David, be smart, okay? Okay? I was building a wall, not to keep them out, to give them privacy, David. I love the Latins. And that wall is just so they have a little privacy because, David, Mexico is a toilet. And when you are romantically involved with a people like I am with the Latins, you don't need to see what they're doing in the toilet with whatever coming out of there. I don't even want to think about it. It's dirty and disgusting. These people, I love them, and I love people, and I love those people, and those people deserve privacy. That's what the wall was all about.
That's what the wall was about, giving them privacy.
It was a door to give them the privacy they need so they could do whatever it is they do inside that dirty, disgusting, stinky toilet. They are leaving to come here to America in order to steal our jobs, rape our women, deal drugs, spread COVID, and commit horrible acts of terrorism. That's why think of the wall as a bathroom door, because I'm romantically involved with the Latins, and I don't want to watch them. I don't want to watch my lover in the toilet. I don't want to think about them doing what they do in the toilet. I don't know. Maybe you're into that. Not Trump. Not Trump. Maybe you like seeing that. I don't. The pee-pee tape. David, the pee-pee tape. Maybe you're into that, but the pee-pee tape, a complete lie. Maybe you like seeing that. I don't. The pee-pee tape, complete lie, never happened. It's projection, David. Hillary, the Democrats, they're all against the wall. And you know what that means? If you're against the wall, that means you obviously like to watch people in the toilet. So the whole pee-pee tape thing was them projecting their mental illness onto me. Me. I think watching people in the toilet is disgusting. Not the Democrat Party, though. They love it because they're sick. They're sick. They're sick. Sick. That's why I want the wall, to give the Latinos privacy, because Mexico is a toilet.
Okay, well, let's turn to economic sanctions against...
It's not a strong toilet either. You have to flush 15, 20, 50 times. It's a bad toilet, David. So give them the dignity of privacy. It's not even... You think our toilets are bad. You should see that toilet. Oh, my God, David. Oh, my God. Dave, by the way, David, you should get that thing looked at. You really should get that thing looked at. That thing. I wouldn't wait, David. That's definitely not good. I would go to a dermatologist tomorrow, first thing, David, and get that looked at, because that does not look good.
What? Really? Where?
That thing that you have right above your shoulder, David.
My neck?
No, your face. The whole thing. The whole thing, David. You should tear it down and start all over again, like I did with Ivana.
Ivana. Yeah,
Ivana.
your first wife.
My first wife, Ivana.
Can we get back to the interview? Let's talk about it.
Go ahead, David. Go ahead. Ask me why I sent in a Trump impersonator to do your show and not the real Donald J. Trump. Ask me what better things I have to do than coming on your show. Ask me.
What better things?
Here, I'll give you the answer, okay? The better thing that I have to do is not doing your show. That's what it says here on my day planner. Your show is so bad, David. I actually marked it in my calendar. I'll read it to you. March 17th, 5 p.m. Don't forget not to do David Feldman's horrible show. 6 p.m., Rosie O'Donnell's a pig. I don't know how that got in my calendar, David. My assistant must have put that in there.
What? You don't know what?
I don't know how Rosie O'Donnell's a pig got into my calendar. My assistant must have put that in there. She's a mother hen, David. Always afraid I'm going to forget that Rosie O'Donnell's a pig. I know not to forget, but it's important to remember, to know not to forget, because David, she's a pig. She's a pig. A nasty, vicious pig.
Okay. First off, we do not fat shame on this show.
Who said anything about Rosie being fat? I get the whole body positive thing, David. And I am positive Rosie's body is that of a pig. But I would never call Rosie fat.
Oh,
Never
okay.
call Rosie fat.
Good, because we're all about body acceptance on this show.
I get it. I agree.
People come in all
People come in all sizes, but I only come in the tens. Get it, David? I only come not in a size 10, but in the tens. Like Melania. She's perfect, David. Come in the tens. You can have that, David. Take it, David. It's free, gratis. That means take it, David. In Latin. The Latins love me, David. But I would never fat shame Rosie.
Thank you, Donald Trump. We don't want that here.
I would morbidly obese. Hey, get off the elevator. I don't want to crash into that floor. Shame her. But I would do that because Rosie's big.
Okay, she's actually, Mr. Trump, she's actually lost a lot of weight and she looks great. She looked great before.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right. I saw her. You know what happened, David? Even her fat can't stand to be around her. That's how obnoxious Rosie is. Even her own fat hates her and had to leave her.
Okay.
Wrote her a Dear Rosie letter. Out the door. Bye-bye, Rosie. Can't handle it anymore.
Okay, let's turn to that big rally this Saturday.
So much love at the rally, David. So much love. Great people in Florence, South Carolina. So smart, so discerning. And it was sold out, David. They were packed in tighter than Chris Christie sitting in a coach seat. Get it, David? Because of the weight. Can you get it, David? Are you following me?
I get it.
You can't fit into a coach seat, David. Do you get it?
I get it.
You can have that one, David. That's another freebie. I know you people like freebies. I know you love the freebies.
What people?
Your people, David, the free brews. Oh, boy. I can't help it, David. You know, they say that Zelensky's a comedian, but I'm so much funnier than that Zelensky guy. I just don't get him, David. I don't get him. I don't get that Nanette Fabre. I don't get them. Anyway, the people of South Carolina love me, David. I do great there because their elections aren't rigged. You get an honest count in South Carolina, unlike Georgia or Arizona or Vermont, where I won in a landslide, David. But they rigged it. They rigged it, David.
Okay, so let's talk about the midterms, November's midterm.
I'm going to win in a landslide. I'm going to win in a landslide, David.
You're not running.
In a landslide, David, is where I'm going to win in a.
You're not running.
Am I, David? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. I keeping you in suspense. Maybe I'm running for mayor, David.
You're running for, where are you running for mayor?
Maybe everywhere, David. How does that sound? Every mayorship at once. I looked it up, David. I asked my crooked assistants, and they said there's no law that says you can't be mayor of 1,000 cities at the same time. I asked Rudy Giuliani. He was America's mayor. And Rudy says he's going to show me everything he knows on how to become America's mayor. That means mayor of all of America, David. He's got a plan to make me America's mayor. We're going to go through his plan every step. And then you know what the last step is, David? Going on Saturday Night Live and saying to Lorne Michaels, why start now? That's the secret sauce, David. Rudy explained this to me very carefully. You go on Saturday Night Live and you ask Lorne Michaels, why start now? And poof, you're America's mayor.
You're going to be America's mayor of thousands of cities.
Exactly. It's called multitasking, David, unlike Sleepy Joe. I can chew gum and stay awake and run 1,000 cities at the same time. Sleepy Joe, sleepy Joe Biden, and his son Sneezy Hunter Biden. You know why he's sneezy, David? You know
What?
why he's sneezy? Do you know?
What?
Ask me why he's sneezy.
Why?
As opposed to sleepy. Ask me why his nickname is Sneezy Hunter Biden.
Why do you call Hunter Biden sneezy? Why do you?
Because of all the cocaine, David. That's what makes you sneeze, David. Sneezy Hunter Biden.
Okay, can we get back?
Hunter Biden. Not sleepy at all, David. The opposite of sleepy.
Can we get back?
Can we get back to what, David?
Can we get back to the midterm?
All the cocaine, David, and the prostitutes.
What prostitutes?
That's what makes him sneezy. The ones Hunter sleeps with, they also make you sneezy because of the COVID, David. They carry diseases, David. Sneezy Biden. Let's all welcome the Biden family. Sleepy, Sneezy, and Doc. That's right, Doc. Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill Biden. Oh, the doctor. We'll see you now, Dr. Jill and their vice president, Kamala Ding Dong. Got Sleepy, Sneezy, Dopey, and Doc. Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill Biden, the doctor will see you now. Dr. Jill. Joe Biden is a corpse, David. His hair plugs, his fingernails, and his budget deficit they're still growing, but he's a corpse, David. He's a disaster. Afghanistan, Ukraine, inflation, COVID. I left him a White House that was in pristine shape, David. And now look, I want the cleaning deposit back, Joe. I don't recognize the place. Melania made it beautiful. And then comes in Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill Biden.
Okay, you're being a little unfair. You do realize that Dr. Jill is not a medical doctor. I believe she has a doctorate in education.
Amazing, isn't it? A doctorate in education. An educator. The only thing worse, David, than a doctor is an educator. Instead of giving your kids enlarged hearts with their vaccines, they turn them gay with books. Hello, Dr. Jill. It's me, your husband, Sleepy Joe. I'm having chest pains and my left arm is feeling numb, Dr. Jill. Can you help me, Dr. Jill? Can you help me?
Can we get back to the
And then Dr. Jill, with her doctorate in education, is going to tell Sleepy Joe, okay, let's check your vitals. How's your curriculum design feeling today? What's your white count? What's your black count? What's your Asian count? Because they're just as important as your black count and your white count. Let me check your CRT levels, all right? Does your family have a history of being gay, Sleepy Joe? Because I'm Dr. Jill Biden, and I'm here to save my corpse of a husband, the recently departed Sleepy Weepy Beepy Joe. You know why they call him Beepy Joe? Because he flatlined. Beep. It's a corpse, David. Beep. Paging Dr. Jill. Code blue, you killed another one. Beep. Beep, 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 Joe. Beep, 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 Joe Biden. Beepy Joe and his vice president, Dopey, Kamala Ding Dong. Ding Dong, who is it? It's me, Dr. Joe Biden, and I'm here to tell you my husband's a corpse. And now you're the president, Dopey, Kamala Ding Dong. Can you imagine, David? President, comma, chameleon. She comes and goes. She comes and goes. Culture Club, David. That's Culture Club. Rosie produced a Broadway musical about Boy George and Culture Club. You know what else she produced, David?
What?
Gas. Lots and lots of gas, David. We don't need oil reserves, David. We have Rosie. Rosie can make enough gas, David, to replace Nord Stream 1 and 2, David. And they say Zelensky's funny. 1 and 2, David. Lots and lots of gas. Rosie gas. Lots of gas. Rosie. Fat.
Okay. I get it.
Nord Stream, you know what? She's going to replace Nord Stream 1, and then she's going to make a Nord Stream number 2. Thank you, Saul Yusuf, for the assist.
Okay, you're
getting little bits of assist from the chat room, David, here and there.
Okay, but you're being unfair, Mr. Donald Trump, Mr. President. First of all, back to Dr. Jill Biden. We love Dr. Jill Biden, and she never.
We love her. We love fake doctors.
We love her, and she never once. She never tried to pass herself off as a medical doctor.
No, David. She's doing something far worse. She's pretending to be a blonde. She's not a real blonde, David, like me. I'm a blonde. I'm a natural blonde. And Jill Biden is just pretending to be a blonde. Not like me. My hair is golden, David. Never went gray. Never went gray. Went blonde. Said, everybody else goes one way. Trump hair goes the other way. You go gray, Trump hair goes blonde. Doctors can't understand it. They want me to donate my scalp to science. Doctors are amazed that I don't have a single strand of gray hair on my entire body, David. The only time I need bleach is when I feel a touch of COVID coming on. Just a quick shot of Clorox and I'm good to go, David.
Okay, can we talk about Ukraine and the
try Clorox, David. You should try Clorox. Do you like Clorox?
No, I'm not a fan of. I don't like COVID with Clorox. No, I do not.
Clorox, David. Why do you hate Clorox? Is it because sometimes the blacks name their kids Clorox? Is that why? Is this a racist thing, David?
No, not at all.
It seems racist to me. David. I'm sorry. I love Clorox. I love the bleach. I love anyone. I love the bleach, and I love anyone named Clorox, whether they be white or they be blacks or they be Latin X. Love the blacks, and the blacks love Trump. The blacks love Trump. I love the blacks and the and the blacks love Trump. Love Trump. I am an honorary the black. That's why they keep trying to arrest me.
Because you're black.
That's why they keep trying to arrest me, David. The blacks love me. Trump, how can you be this smart? You must have eyes in the back of your head. A lot of people think I do, especially when I was younger, David. I could have played for the Knicks, David. People thought I had eyes in the back of my head. I was dropping dimes. That means assists, David. I played basketball, David. Yes, and I have a knack. Really? It's just a genetic thing. I have had an uncle who played basketball, David. Sweetwater Trump. Sweetwater Trump.
Sweetwater Trump.
Sweetwater Trump. He had moves, David. Oh my Lord, did this one have moves?
Really?
Poetry in motion. He could fake out all the blacks, David.
He had moves.
He could fake out anyone. He would get the ball and say, I'm going to buy your building, but I'm not going to raise your rent. And then before they knew it, their rent was doubled and they were out in the streets, David.
But we're talking about Sweetwater.
I don't normally talk about this, David, but they wanted me to go pro because I had the same moves he had. I could fake these people out. I could say, I'm going to pay for everything you do. Everything you do for my hotel. And then before you know it, I don't have the money. I faked them out. They wanted me to go pro, David, but I said no.
This is basketball.
Said no. We're talking about basketball. They wanted me to go pro. I said no. Give basketball to the blacks. Give it to the blacks. It's not fair. Let them have basketball. I'll take golf. Let the blacks have basketball.
All right,
I could have played for the Knicks. I could have played for the Knicks, but give it to the blacks. I said, give it to the blacks. I started the civil rights movement, David, giving basketball to the blacks.
Okay, I'm not really sure that's true.
I
Mr.
gave
Fred.
them basketball and rap.
You rap.
Are you familiar with Sugar Hill, David? The Sugar Hill people, the gang, the Sugar Hill gang.
Of course,
people.
Englewood, New Jersey, the Sugar Hill Gang invented rap.
David, not even close, David. I invented rap. I gave the blacks basketball, and I didn't just give them rap. I invented it, David.
You invented rap.
The freestyle stuff, you know. David, Wonder Mike, Master G, Big Bank, Hank, they used to do work for my father, and they saw me sitting in the office, and there was a nephew on my mom's side who worked for us, and he was slow, David. Can you say that word now, slow?
I think you can say slow.
Well, let's just say he had a bad stutter and a stammer. He had a stutter and a stammer. You couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. His name was Lonnie. So naturally, I called him Lonnie. Get it, David? Because he had a stutter. So instead of calling him Lonnie like boring people would, I called him Lonnie. It's a nickname, David.
Okay, I don't understand what this has to do with you inventing rap.
I gave rap to the blacks, David.
Okay, you told me that. I don't understand.
I invented rap, David, and I gave it to the blacks. I'd go Lanny, and the blacks started making records. Go back and forth, one by one, two by two.
I mean, scratching.
Back and forth, they would go wicka, 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 wicka. Scratching, yes. We used to call it, scratching. We used to call it lannying. Then the white man didn't like that, David. He made it his own, and he changed it to scratching. But believe me, David, it was lannying. And it made my father smile, David. It made my father smile. My father rarely smiled. Great man, but I made him smile. I was the only one who could make my father smile by making fun of his wife's stuttering nephew, Lonnie. And that's how I invented rap, making fun of a stuttering and stammering nephew of my wife.
Of your mother, a little Freudian slip there.
Of my mother, sorry. A Freudian, same thing.
Yeah.
You know, wife, mother, daughter, all the same. Yes, I invented rap, David. I invented rap. I gave it to the blacks.
Thank you for joining us.
I don't have time for this, David. I gotta go. I don't have time to do this. What do we? Please. I'm leaving, David. This is ridiculous. I don't have time for this. Even my impersonator doesn't have time for this.
Thank you, Donald J. Trump. He doesn't have time for this.